I know most of you have already completed the RWS language test and even received that encouraging feedback from RWS placing you in different categories. That is basic, advanced, or fluent. They promised you will be allocated tasks via email invitations because you aced the test. But now, months later, many of you have 0 tasks, 0 emails, and have made 0 cash from the platform. I know this can feel very frustrating. You might even be thinking of deleting your account because it seems completely useless. But before you do that, listen carefully to what I have to say. The lack of allocated tasks on the RWS AI training platform is usually caused by a few common mistakes. Mistakes that are easy to avoid, but most newbies are not aware that they are making these mistakes. RWS has this habit of giving immediate feedback, encouraging you, telling you they'll send projects, but then leaving you hanging for months. When you check your friend's account and see that they have active tasks while yours show nothing, I know exactly how it feels. It is a truly awful feeling. The first major mistake you make while trying to take the RWS tests is completing them too fast. Remember, the reviewers can always see the exact time you started the test and the time you submitted it. So, when you finish a 30-minute test in just 10 minutes, it immediately raises red flags. The time given for each test has been carefully calculated based on normal human capacities and capabilities. So, whether you are sharp or not, do not hurry to complete that test. Because when you complete that test too quickly, the first impression you leave on the reviewer is that you either used AI to complete the test or had some kind of external help. Basically, it looks like you did not take the test on your own. And even though you passed, then they send the congratulatory feedback, they silently blacklist your account. That is why you end up waiting for ghost projects that never arrive. This is what people mean when they talk about ghost projects or RWS. The second mistake most new attempters make while taking the RWS language test is taking too many language tests at once. I know what you are thinking. This person must be crazy. How can be taking many language tests be wrong? But yes, you heard me right. Taking too many language tests is a big mistake on this platform. Always remember, RWS is an AI training platform. So, they also use AI to calculate normal human limits. The highest recorded number of languages any single human being could speak fluently is around 8. But on average, a person can only grasp and use about 3 languages fluently. So when you take 5 language tests and pass all of them with high scores, it means you claim to have native level fluency in all 5. And it automatically raises serious eyebrows. How can one person use English, Swahili, French, German, and Mandarin at a native level of fluency? Especially if you are not born in those countries. If it was just Swahili and English, or even French and English, the reviewers might assume that you are a native speaker of one and learn the other fluently. But claiming to know 5 different languages at a native level fluency raises a lot of suspicion. If you find this information helpful, do not forget to subscribe and leave a like, because it really motivates me to keep sharing these practical tips. It really motivates me to keep sharing these cheat sheets and codes that can help you easily get onboarded onto platforms like RWS. Moving on to the third mistake, some of you keep shifting tabs while taking the RWS tests, and this immediately raises suspicion. Remember, just because you have not been told that the system is monitoring your environment does not mean it is not monitoring your environment. I have it on good authority that RWS monitors the working environment of all its taskers to maintain transparency and the quality of work for their customers. So, when you keep changing tabs during the test, you have basically killed your chances of ever getting a project on that platform. To avoid this, simply split your screen into 2 parts. Place the RWS test on one side and the AI you're using on the other side. That way, you do not keep switching tabs midway. and protect your chances of being onboarded onto this platform successfully. RWS operates in a very tricky manner. Even after the platform has detected inconsistencies, they will still give you positive feedback and they will even send onboarding instructions, but they will never ever actually give you any projects to work on as long as a flag was raised during your test. The fourth mistake people normally make while taking the RWS test is using just one LLM to complete the test. And this I'm sharing from my own personal experience with the platform. Grok is about 85% accurate when it comes to language tests. So you need to use Grok in conjunction with Gemini to complete that test. Here is exactly what I mean. Use Grok to get answers, but confirm those answers using Gemini. But do not stop there. Also read through the questions afterwards. Check both the answers and the questions carefully to confirm accuracy before hitting submit. And always remember the level of language proficiency you indicated earlier in your resume. Make sure your answers match that level of proficiency. Also remember, the state or region you are taking the test from. If it is the USA, use American English. If it is the UK, use British English. These are small details that most people take for granted, but they end up haunting them later on. In the previous video, I promised to explain why I prefer using IX browser over any other browser. So let me fulfill on that promise before giving you the last mistake you should avoid. Remember to subscribe and leave a like if you have found this video helpful. And for the new viewers, take time to go back to the channel page and watch the previous video about data Annotation Tech. I'm sure you will find it very informative. I will always advise anyone to use IX browser over any other proxy suite, such as Mologin or Gologin, simply because of a few logical reasons. When you make a new profile on IX browser, it gives you a completely unique new device ID. Therefore, every new profile appears like a brand new device on the platform. In this case, the platform is RWS. This helps greatly mitigate the risk of account bans and detection, because these platforms normally blacklist the device ID of devices that had previously banned accounts. So, if you try to use a device with the same device ID again, you will likely get banned immediately. This is where IX browser stands out with its advanced features, a different unique device ID for each profile, plus a very strong fingerprint technology, which helps you keep your browsing inconsistent, anonymous, and leading to slower detection and fewer bans. Take this example. You've just bought a new laptop, but the owner of that laptop tried to open an RWS account and was banned. So you, thinking that you have a new laptop, have gone ahead and tried to open another account, but you also find out that you are unable to use a new account because the device ID has already been banned. I will dive deeper into this browser fingerprinting in the next video because it deserves a full detailed breakdown. Guys, comment below if you're facing any challenge so that you may receive guidance from me. It may be small, but it is something, and it may even help you on your journey to being onboarded onto RWS as an AI trainer, commonly referred to as multilingual tasks. The fifth mistake that most of you make when taking this test is choosing a language pair that is in an oversaturated market. I know you may be wondering what I mean by this, so let me break it down clearly. Take for example, English USA. Almost everyone in the world can use English and write it fluently, so it is logical to assume that almost every tasker on RWS has English as one of their chosen languages. So, when you also pick this as your core language, yet the positions are already oversaturated, you will not get any projects because the platform has already experienced taskers who have signed up before you, and they have taken up most of the task allocation. The solution is simple. Use Grok to research and choose rare languages such as Mandarin, which are not oversaturated, and I am confident that you will be allocated a project within the first 2 weeks of joining the platform. That is RWS. Lastly, the sixth mistake that most people make after being onboarded onto RWS is ignoring the frequent check-in surveys by treating those emails as spam because they are not direct work assignments. RWS sends emails, newsletters, or surveys to gauge your availability, to update your skills, or ask for platform feedback. Engaging with these surveys keeps your account flagged as active, often explicitly noting in a feedback survey that you have availability but have not received any tasks yet can bump up your profile in the rotation, and it can trigger project managers to send you work. So, do not ignore these emails just because they are not direct work assignments. Engage with them actively and remember to thank me later. There you have it, guys. If you follow these tips carefully, I am sure you'll be successfully onboarded and also start receiving tasks from RWS. Happy tasking, happy remote job hunting. Until the next video, it's a bye from me. Thank you.